What's up, guys? Average Kiwi Guy here. How y'all doing? So, a few days ago, we had this sort of teaser thing for the new Tomb Raider movie coming out, and definitely showed where they're going with. They are definitely going with the new remake of Tomb Raider that the games went through a few years ago, and I do like the new Tomb Raider games. I think they are less tomb raiding, going in and treasure hunting and all the rest of it, but it was more survival, especially the first one. The second one got a little more into the treasure hunting and tomb raiding and stuff like that, but this first one, very much survival, very much crafting weapons, and just going up against just awful people. And it was very, I think, a lot more grittier, a lot darker. It wasn't so you look at the first Tomb Raider, the Tomb Raider movies. It's a bit silly. It's sort of, kind of like belongs of National Treasure sort of thing. This movie, if they stick with what the new game, the sort of the style they're going with now, where it's a lot darker, serious stuff happens in the new Tomb Raider game. This movie will be a lot darker than those, which is probably a good thing. That way, it has its own identity and it can go from there. So, I'm very eager to see how they're going. I'm really eager to see how along the lines does it follow the game. Because game movies, video game movies don't always do so well. Because you're trying to fit a game that, takes, 10 hours plus. I know Tomb Raider's a bit longer than that. But, 10 hours plus, trying to fit it into like a 2-hour plus movie. So it's always tricky to do video game movies. Hopefully, they might pull it off and we might actually get a really good Tomb Raider movie. I'm looking forward to it. Alicia Vikander, I'm sorry if I said that name wrong. She looks like the new Tomb Raider, Lara. She looks a lot like her, so I don't mind that. We'll have to see how her performance goes, and we'll go from there, see if we got a new Lara Croft. Let's check it out, shall we? 3, 2, 1, go.
What's your name?
Lara.
Surname?
Croft.
Voice isn't too bad. Got the bow.
Lara,
Okay.
your father's gone.
Very game-like.
You can pick up where he left off. I see so much of him in you. Brilliant.
Hello, Sprout.
Okay.
If you're listening to this, then I must be dead. I found something. A tomb called the Mother of Death. If Trinity succeeds...
Isn't the sun goddess in the new game? Okay.
Promise me you will stop them.
I promise. I think I know where my dad went.
That's right in the middle of the Devil's Sea.
It will be an adventure.
Death is not an adventure.
Damn.
You shouldn't have come here. But I'm glad that you did.
What do you know about my father?
Now I see the likeness, the recklessness.
Close the tomb once and for all. The fate of humanity is now in your hands.
Oh, okay. Tomb traps, nice. Got the pick. Plane. Oh, plane. That's game. That's a bit of a thing to the game. Remember that.
Can't be too careful these days. The world has gone bloody mad.
I'll take 2.
Okay. Sort of paying homage to the old school guns. They got the 2 big guns and stuff. That was cool. That was cool at the end. Sort of paying homage to the old school Tomb Raider. Definitely they're not directly following the game. They're definitely not doing that. They're sort of mixing it in. I think they've taken the broad idea of the game, like the tomb's on an island. There's bad guys on the island. She washes up in a the boat sinks. She's shipwrecked, and then she's on this island sort of by herself. Be interesting to see if she gets as beaten up as she does in the game in this one. Like, she gets, like, freaking impaled and all that in the game. So it'll be interesting to see if she goes through that through this one. Definitely doesn't have the characters around her. By the looks of it, it sort of has, this, obviously a sort of a guide or, the ship's captain or something with her on this boat. But other than that, there's no team with her. And she seems to be going up against this sort of, maybe like a crime syndicate or something, which wasn't really in the game. So, they're taking parts. I think they're taking sporadic parts and then putting in their own, which I think probably is a better idea. I think it's a better idea than directly following the game, because then you'll immediately compare it to the game all the time. And I think that's where video game movies always fail, because they just don't meet up that expectation of the video game, and all the hours that you put into that game. The tomb stuff looks cool. It still looks like it has the sort of batshit craziness of Tomb Raider as well. Like, it's not taking itself too seriously. It's got a little bit of, that sort of National Treasure type feel to it. The original Tomb Raider sort of thing. So I don't think this is going to be like ultra serial survival type, Tomb Raider. I think it's going to still have a little bit of silliness into it, but obviously with the action and, bow and arrows and stuff. So that's cool. Hopefully it's got a good mystery to it, because that's always, a good thing with the Tomb Raider. The Tomb Raider stuff is it always has this sort of grand, mystery, there's these artifacts that have this magical power sort of stuff. Like, hopefully they have something like that, which would be kind of cool. Alicia looks good. She looks like a good solid Lara Croft. She's sort of, meeting, from what we've seen of her, she's, the voice sounds good. The look and all, she looks like the new Lara Croft, so I'm happy with that. Like, her outfit's like the dead match to the game. It's crazy how exactly matching it is. It's good to see the relationship with her father, and that's the thing that spurs her on, because that's the whole Tomb Raider story. So it's good that they still have the whole her father is the inspiration for her to really start being Tomb Raider essentially. Bad guys, we're gonna have to see. I'm not, obviously sort of maybe a family friend, or was, the nemesis of her father. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, I mean, there's sort of a lot of paying homage to the game, to the new game, to the new remake of the game. But also still having the silliness of the old one. So we'll have to see how they balance that out. How batshit crazy do they go? How, survival do they go? What are they going to do? And I think a lot of us, we really, we've been waiting for a really good game, video game movie. There've been a few that were almost there, but didn't quite hit the mark. They were more like either just for the fans, or they got so diluted down for everyone that it didn't really work all that well. Probably the most recent example is Assassin's Creed. So who knows? I'm kind of ready for a new series of Tomb Raider movies. Like, I think that would be cool. That'd be cool. And, and then hopefully that might spur them on to make more Tomb Raider games, because I kind of would like, I like the new Tomb Raider games, and hopefully they'll continue them. And yeah, I think that would be the big thing. I really want a cool Tomb Raider movie with a cool Lara Croft, and just, have a good time watching it. I think that's the big thing with Tomb Raider movie. But yeah. Alright guys, that's it for us. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.